Rachel, in this movie, Youth, you have a tricky role for anybody in life that's the daughter of somebody and also their assistant.
Yeah.
Can you talk about playing that duality of that character?
Well, that duality really fitted into how I understood this character, in that her whole life was her dad. He was the center of her universe. She worked for him, with him. She still sleeps in the same bed as him. She hasn't flown the coop, shall we say. She's regressed, she's childish, she hasn't yet become a grown-up. So I think in the movie, for her, she has to leave her youth. She's been in youth for way too long. It's time for her to be an adult.
So for your character, that's where the title of the film comes into play.
I think so. I mean, I only just thought that second. I just made that up, but I'm sticking with it. Yeah.
You have lots of moments in the film, but there's one big one, and you know the one I'm talking about, where you're in the mud bath and you really lay into him about how he keeps disappointing you all throughout your life.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about just playing that scene?
Well, that was a 3-page monologue, which actually was the first scene that we shot, and it was 3 a.m. It was a night shoot, and I didn't know we were going to do it in one shot, which I love that about Paolo. He doesn't like, most directors would come to you weeks beforehand and say, listen, I just want you to know that 3-page monologue, we're just going to do it as a one-er. I mean, for an actor, that's slightly a big deal, because I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but it's kind of a big deal. But he didn't say anything. So it was 2:55, you know, and he said, we're doing it in one shot. I was like, oh my goodness me, okay. So, and we just did it. You know, the camera was just there above my head, and I guess it's well written. I have a dad. So I didn't have to do a ton of research about what it feels like to have a dad, whom I love, but who I can also, you know, he can anger me too. So yeah, just tapped into some feelings through Paolo's text.
And working with Michael Caine, you had the majority of your scenes with him.
Yeah, what a joy, what a pleasure, what a delight he is. Just, he's still so full of youth. He really hasn't lost his youthfulness. He's curious, he's observant, he wants to work, he wants to live. He's a great spirit, a really great spirit.
This movie is so artistic, so beautiful to look at. It's a piece of art in a way.
Yeah.
What did you think the first time you saw it?
First time I saw it, I was really deeply moved, and it was so poetic and meditative and visually sumptuous and unlike anything I'd ever seen. It's got its own kind of rhythm and tempo. It's very hypnotic. I was bowled over.
Last question, something I always like to ask an Oscar voter. I know off of your win and nomination, you're a member of the Academy. On any given year, not necessarily this year, when you have that ballot and you're marking an actor's name, what goes through your mind? What type of performance really grabs you? Personally,
I love acting where you can't see the acting. That's what I like. I mean, technique can be a beautiful, wonderful thing. It doesn't get me going. So I like it when you can't see the wheels turning, you can't see the cogs, you can't see where the actor and the character begins and ends.
Is there a particular role from any decade that you've watched films that just really, as I say this particular question, really stands out to you as being of that type?
Gina Rowlands.
Who's been honored this weekend at the Academy.
Yeah, I went last night. Yeah, it was very moving.
What about her career? You said her name 3 times, so it must be several films.
Yeah, probably Gloria, Woman Under the Influence, Opening Night, Shadows, Faces. I mean, really all the films she did with her late husband, Cassavetes. Yeah, there's no one to touch her. Yeah, she's extraordinary.
You've got a great one here in Youth, and I really appreciate your time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks.